Hey everybody, Doug A798 here. This is my review of Batman Brave and the Bold. I first saw this cartoon when it premiered in 2008, and I've been a huge fan of this cartoon ever since. This is, in my opinion, one of the best Batman cartoons of all time. I love this cartoon, and one of the best cartoons Cartoon Network has ever had, and they've had a lot of them. They've had a lot of good ones, and this cartoon right here was good, and this cartoon is way better than what was given credit for. This cartoon has a mixed reception amongst fans. Some fans, like myself, like it. Some fans, of course, hate it for its campy tone. But this show, in my opinion, is awesome, and this is the most watched Batman of all the cartoons. I watch all the Batman cartoons, but this right here is the one I watch the most. This is one of my all-time favorite Batman cartoons. I love this Batman for including underrated DC characters like Metamorpho, Deadman, the Spectre, Martian Manhunter, Black Lightning, Katana, Wily Cat, Guy Gardner, Nort, the Green Lantern Nort, so many awesome characters. And then of course that was the first season. The latter seasons had more familiar heroes like Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Superman, Robin. So yeah, seasons 2 and 3 had more familiar heroes, and despite being campy and light, this show was dark. In one episode, in one of my favorite episodes, Dawn of the Dead Man, the villain, Gentleman Ghost, tries to summon and awaken a dead army, and at the end of the episode, the dead army drags him to hell, and they show you the execution of Gentleman Ghost, Braddock, who would later become Gentleman Ghost. They also touch on the death of Bruce's parents, even shows Bruce confronting Joe Chill, the guy who killed his parents. And then of course they also touch on the death of Bruce, Batman's best friend, the Blue Beetle. So this cartoon right here, while being campy and light, it did have some darkness. It was dark at times. The show, of course, had two stories. There was a story at the beginning. There was a story at the beginning of the intro. Then the intro comes on, and then the second and larger half is the main story. And this show, unlike the last Batman, which had an overarch, this show has single episode stories. This show has single episode stories like a comic book, and I thought that style was awesome. And of course, as always with a Batman cartoon, along with the story and stuff, the artwork was beautiful. The characters look just like their middle-aged counterparts. Of course, the action. Oh my gosh, lots of kick-ass action in this Batman cartoon, and lots of cool adventures and places Batman goes to. And the cartoon is downright hilarious and funny. I love how Batman seems to have everything needed for every situation, that utility belt, and he's unusually prepared for every situation. In the episode Dawn of the Dead Man, Gentleman Ghost, in this same episode, buries Batman alive, and Batman managed to separate his spirit from his body by doing a meditation technique. Also, while he's narrating the story or committing crimes, he's talking to himself, giving a narration, which is also hilarious. All the characters are hilarious, especially Aquaman and Speedy and Plastic Man, one of the goofiest and coolest superheroes of all time. Yeah, that's another underrated superhero, Plastic Man. And of course, they made Aquaman better. I love this depiction of Aquaman. Same with his Justice League depiction of Aquaman. And of course, there are various references to comic book continuity, very true to the comic books, and very true to the other versions of Batman. So they even parodied the Batman fans in one episode of this show, and it was a total accurate of the real life parody of real life how real life Batman fans act. So right here, this right here was an awesome underrated cartoon, and they ended it to do Batman. Beware the Batman, but this show right here was awesome. I would love to see more of it. All right, Dog A799. I'm gonna do season reviews later.